Hey everybody out there, Chris and Mike here, and welcome back to another Dark Avenger Comic Book review. In this review, we will be going through the books that came out from Marvel on the week of May 21st, 2014.
Yep.
However, there is a book here that came out earlier in the month that I actually would like to, I actually got and would like to review. It is an Original Sin tie-in. I'm trying to think if there's any type of news. None. Okay. There are going to be some drops, by the way. There are two in this pile, and there is, I believe, one in DC, or there are three in this one. I can't remember, but when we get to the books, you guys will see. First book, welcome back to the pile, Avengers. Avengers 29, first of all, by the way, is a $5 book. Why? I have no clue. There are a couple more pages. And, of course, you get the bonus digital code, whatever. Why did I get this? Because for those of you that know, I read New Avengers for a very long time before I finally... The story arc just went way too long for my liking, and I dropped it. But, for those of you that remember, in one of the very first story... In the very beginning of the story arc, if it's still the same story arc, Captain America came on with the Illuminati. The whole Infinity Gauntlet thing happened, and then it failed, and then Captain America wanted to disband the Illuminati and end it and figure it out some other way. It didn't work out, and Iron Man had Doctor Strange erase Captain America's memory. Well, didn't really work out so well for them, because somehow Cap remembered. He remembered the whole thing, and
wow.
Captain America was not happy, and he puts a team of a couple Avengers together. He gets Thor, Hawkeye, I forgot who this guy is, Starbrand, was it? I believe it is Starbrand.
Yeah, I heard of Starbrand somewhere. Yeah, Starbrand.
Yeah. Hyperion, and I don't know, I said Hawkeye, yeah. And together they go to Tony Stark. Basically, Captain America calls him a traitor because of what's going on and all in the New Avengers, because they have to kill the world basically in order to save theirs. And Cap comes in, he's like, I remember, and Tony's like, he's trying to play coy. He's like, remember what? He's like, I remember. And he's like, do you want to talk about it? And he's like, please tell me you haven't done what we were afraid of. And it just becomes an all-out fight between Iron Man and the rest of the Avengers. Basically, Cap says, you used me. He's like, yes, I suppose I did, and I do it again, so what are you going to do about it? And those are definitely not the words you say to Captain America. That brings out the fight. But then, the time gem reappears. Remember, the time gem disappeared. It didn't shatter. It reappears in Cap's hand, and, well, they get taken away. 48 years plus since the betrayal.
Whoa. That's a lot of years.
So now they're in the future. This is going to be a very interesting story arc, and I'm glad I jumped back on board to read this. I believe I'm getting issue number 30 next week. Really glad to be back on Avengers. That did not come out this week. I would definitely say check it out, but honestly, the price tag of $4.99, again, that takes a half a star away, because $5, this felt like a regular comic book to me. I feel like the addition of the $2 wasn't worth it. $3.99 was good enough.
Do they show any special features or anything?
Actually, an extra $1, I'm sorry. For the extra $1, you get a couple extra pages. It's up to you guys. I don't like supporting books that jump up an extra couple of bucks just because of an event or a monumentous book, but whatever. It was a really good book. Amazing X-Men issue number 7. I'm done. That's it. It's over. This was supposed to be Spider-Man and his Amazing Friends reunion. This was anything but. You have Spider-Man, who's trying to take this alien baby back to his parents. You have Firestar and Iceman, Firestar and Iceman who find the baby. They think Spider-Man's crazy. It becomes a fight over who gets to keep the baby. It was
like
the
hot
story,
potato with the baby?
The art was good. I will say it was baby hot potato, alien baby hot potato. It was the artwork was really good again. I'm trying to show some artwork of the whole team, but
yeah, it looks okay.
It's just in the end, it just didn't. Yeah, I just see where this book is going, and you know what? I think 7 issues later, we got the return of Nightcrawler. I'm good with Amazing X-Men. Wolverine and the X-Men issue number 4. Done. Ever since this comic, this next volume of Wolverine and the X-Men has started, slowly but surely it became a cluttered mess focusing on the future, where Evan becomes Apocalypse, and Quentin Quire has to become the Phoenix, and it's all crazy, and in the middle of all this crazy, Wolverine and Storm share this kiss moment. It's like, okay, why? Your children are in trouble, there's a huge fight going on, and the only thing you can think of is to do this?
Really? They're still on there?
And then basically Quentin Quire's getting a pep talk from Cyclops. It's like, no, this book just no. There's
Since
so
when did
much.
Quentin Quire and Cyclops ever had a talk with each other? They don't like each other. That's what I thought. What is it? Ooh,
and Phantom X joins the school. I don't think I'm coming back. I think I'm fairly done.
Phantom X. Oh wow, that is the weirdest things I've ever seen.
And he's there to protect Evan. It's like I just don't feel this book anymore. I like the previous volume, but I mean Wolverine's gonna die soon, and I don't know. I just don't feel it. We'll see when the next issue comes, guys. But 99.9%, I think I'm done. I think it's a drop book now for me. Nova issue number 17. This was a fun, nice little side issue. Sam knows about the mom getting the notice about eviction. But he won't say anything, but he's trying to find ways to make extra money. The mother wants to tell Sam about it, but she kind of is getting a little bit overwhelmed with Sam being Nova. And it's just, the whole book is kind of misunderstanding after misunderstanding. Sam babysits his sister. His sister puts on the helmet, puts a hole in the wall, causes another argument between Sam and his mom. Which then finally leads in, well, after Sam takes a little bit of a superhero detour, so to speak, as Nova, he comes back, and him and his mother have a long talk about them getting evicted, and how maybe Sam wants to go find his father. He knows his father's alive. For those of you that didn't see Original Sin issue 0, that's where Sam found out that his father was alive. So he said, maybe the next time I go see the Watcher, I'll ask him where my dad is. And it ends basically where Original Sin number 1 begins, with the Watcher dead. It says Sam Alexander will return as Nova when Original Sin begins in 30 days. So Sam will be back in 30 days as Nova. Interesting stuff. I guess this is more of a segue. This is kind of the middle book. We just had Beta Ray Bill's story, and now this is kind of like a little in-between story, that little filler before we get into the next big thing, which is going to be Original Sin. So here's your filler. Next we have Nova's tie-in with Original Sin, with the father and everything else. I could accept that. Yeah. Next we have Hulk, issue number 3. I can't help it. I wanted to drop it twice now, and issue 3 is the Hulk versus Abomination, and Bruce Banner, the Hulk kind of hulks down, so to speak. The Avengers show up and try to help out Hulk. Bruce kind of hulks down, so to speak, and apparently the Hulk's, he has that healing factor. And it's slowly healing Bruce Banner's brain, but if he keeps hulking out, his brain is going to heal wrong. So he's kind of got he has moments where he doesn't know who he is, then he doesn't know where he is.
Oh,
then he believes the Hulk.
He has that amnesia.
Yeah, then he thinks the Hulk is just a bad dream. Then he remembers everything, and in the end, basically, he chooses to sacrifice his own mind to save the Avengers, because the Avengers are fighting Abomination, the original one, being controlled by this guy who wants to kill the Hulk, or he wants to control the Hulk. And Abomination basically goes to town on the Hulk, but Hulk just won't go down. This is an amazing page, by the way.
That is amazing with the shield.
And of course, finally I start getting interested in Hulk, and guess what, everybody? Mark Waid is going to be leaving Hulk soon.
That is...
So I don't know how long... I guess every issue depends on how many books I get, and if I have the ability to get the Hulk. I mean, I didn't think I'd be getting Hulk this time, and I got a lot of books this time, and I still ended up buying it, so we'll see.
Okay, everybody, Avengers World, issue number 6. The cover says it all. This story is technically just about Hyperion, and he tells Thor his story, basically. Like, he's just like saying, how the world has changed and how, how he failed in the past and everything. And by the way, here's a picture. The artwork looks amazing. I like the heart-to-heart talk that he has with Thor. Like, Thor's trying to tell him that, like, everything, changes and everything.
Everything changes and everything, yes. Everything.
And, like, his story was, like, really, like, the character, like, you feel for the character. And then there's a scene where he talks to Dr. Andrew Forston, who's a scientist. And basically he tells him, other stuff. If you want to find out, you should definitely read the book, because he basically doesn't give him the right ways of how he should be. And how he says that with the Avengers, he's slowed them down and everything. So after that, he meets up with Smasher or Messenger, so to say, Isabel. And she says, you don't belong here anymore. So she meets up with the Avengers team. So he said, I failed once before, but never again. To be continued. That was a really strong statement that Hyperion made in the end. So, I mean, to me, I felt this to be a little bit of an average read. Like, not average, like just a little bit of an average read. It is an interesting story, though. Definitely an emotional story from Hyperion, and can't wait to see what's next for Avengers World.
Daredevil issue number 3. Foggy's alive, but he's in hiding. And he actually comes out. But anyway, before we get into that, we have Daredevil versus the Shroud. And why does the Shroud want to beat up? What's the Shroud's plan? Why does he want to take out Daredevil? Because he wants to get the Owl's attention. Why? Because he wants the Owl, he wants to save his girlfriend. And like I said, Foggy shows up. He gets itchy. He says, I forgot what it was. Oh, what was it? There's some type of a setup or whatever. And he wanted to talk to Matt, and he's like, he was getting stir crazy, so to speak, sitting in the safe house. He wanted to go out and get some fresh air and whatever. And basically, Foggy's life depends on him hiding out. So anyway, Matt comes up with a different plan for the Shroud, and basically he, as Matt Murdock, subpoenas the Owl. Or actually, I should say he gives the Owl a a takeout order or a restaurant order, and it's basically his way of coming in to get the Shroud in. The Shroud shows up. I forgot what they wanted to take out to stop the Owl, and the Owl's like, I have Angie, I have your girlfriend. You do anything to me, you'll never see her again. And
oh, Mr. Owl. Yeah, he's from these Superior of Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. And then, as he says that, the Shroud said, is he lying? Because Matt can hear heartbeats. And he says no, and then because of that, he releases Owl, and basically Matt gets thrown right back into harm's way. That's the short version. There's a ton of dialogue. This book just continues to be super spectacular. I've loved it since Volume 1. I don't know why. Well, I know why we got a Volume 2. They wanted to put another $1 on the book, but beside the point, You don't need the free digital edition. You should, I mean, the extra digital thing. I say take off the dollar, take off the digital code. I don't use it anyway. But beside the point, Daredevil is spectacular. Each and every month, each and every issue. Highly recommend this book. Couldn't highly recommend it any more than what I am right now. Mark Waid has been just doing gold on the book.
Magneto issue number 4. And Magneto, there's still lots of stuff that Magneto's trying to do with trying to find out, you know, about the whole mutant thing. There was this flashback where there are mutants who are on the bus, and they thought they were going on a road trip, but apparently after Magneto was taking out the bus drivers who are not mutants, he knew that they would take him to a slaughterhouse to get them slaughtered, so he saves them in the way and just says, you know, to get out of his way. So I see him more as an anti-hero, so to say, like not more of a villain or a hero, just like in between. So, oh, by the way, here's some artwork, which is drawn very nicely. And he's just talking about, you know, how people are just going to get hurt because they don't trust us mutants. Then he comes up to these groups of people right here who want to destroy all mutants and stuff like that. And, you know, Magneto goes one up ahead of them with using his powers, and he finds out about these names that he sees on the wall, and to find out more, definitely read the book. But it's this one, unlike Avengers World, was an average read, but I'm liking it. I mean, it's okay, you know. But here's my book of the week. Goes to All New X Factor, issue number 8. The issue last time we saw Georgia had new powers, which was ending result killed Cypher, who was known as Doug. So, you know, they just want to find out, you know, how he can survive again, and Lorna, she gets more pissed off than ever. So in order to bring Doug back, Georgia has to get water to re-moisturize him, and probably bring him back to life, but it could kill her as well, which is the father doesn't approve of, and the artwork still has the X Factor feel to it. And Harrison Snow comes in, and by the way, Doug is alive, so that's good news at least. And she finds out from Harrison Snow that the father wants her to leave because he can't accept the fact that she's a mutant and that what God did was wrong. And then she winds up, I guess she's gonna join the X Factor, probably. But that I'm not too sure of yet, but knowing that Cypher is alive and that everything was adventurous and all that, I did leave a lot of stuff out because I want you guys to read it. Book of the week, sold. Absolutely.
Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 2. Oh god, it's good to see Pete back. And I'll tell you guys the truth, I expected a little bit of this, but Pete doesn't even beat around the bush. Anne-Marie in the last issue says, I know you're Peter Parker. You do get a prelude, a one-page prelude setting up for Silk to show up soon, but then it goes right into the story where Pete basically says, yes, I am Spider-Man, you caught me, but the person you were in love with was Doc Ock. So basically he explains to her, the past year, you've been in love with me, but I was controlled by Doc Ock. She copes with this by making cookies. Yes, that's right, making cookies. So she starts to make the cookies. She's like, you know what? I need to go take a walk. I'll see you later. She walks out. She tells Pete, 22 minutes, don't forget, then take him out. Electro's trying to find a place just to hang out for a bit. Spider-Man goes to the Avengers for his evaluation,
and brings
where
cookies to
he
them.
actually explains. Finally, he tells the Avengers, you know, I was taken over by Doc Ock, yada yada. It was him for a while. But now, but he's gone now. I'm back in my own body. They do a ton of brain scans all over the place, and it's him. But then Spidey punches Cap right in the chops. You know why? Because he said, you knew that Flash Thompson was Venom, and you still let it happen? And he's like, yes, he's a good person, I had to keep a secret identity of all people. I'm sure you understand. And he's like, more than any man knows, it's annoying, but fair. He says it's annoying that he did it, but it's fair nonetheless. So, back at Parker Industries, Pete has to learn about the what is it called? The,
Nanobots?
Nano something. Nanite delivery system.
Oh, Nanite, okay.
And basically, Anna Marie knows how to do it. She's going to teach Pete, basically. She actually said one thing that froze me reading this book. She's like, I'm pregnant. I got scared, just like the other characters, until she said, no, I'm not really pregnant. I just want her to get out of the room.
Wow.
Electro's still going through some really bad times, and enters Spidey, and Spidey goes after Electro to try to capture him. You got Black Cat watching in the crowd. Bad luck for Spidey, good luck for Electro. Electro escapes. Spidey doesn't catch his guy. But you get some Human Torch moments. What do you call it? Wow, why did his name leave me at the moment? Johnny Storm, right. Johnny Storm and Pete have a long talk at the Statue of Liberty. Johnny says, I lost my powers, yada yada. So if you want to look more into that, check out Fantastic Four. It's been amazing so far. And then he talks about the island, which used to be Doc Ock's spider base. And Pete decides, you know what? Forget the nano delivery technology. Instead, we're going to work on building a supervillain prison first. So he's going to take the island and turn it back into a supervillain prison, and that's what the resources of Parker Industries is going to go towards. And I have a bad feeling. This is how Parker Industries is going to go.
That, and hopefully they don't find a way to get out of it like they always do.
Well, Pete said he helped Spider-Man find ways to stop all his supervillains before, so now he wants to use his abilities and his smarts to make a supervillain prison. So,
let's just hope it works for the better, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Is that mine? Or?
Good luck, but I have a feeling it's ours.
Oh, okay.
But I have a feeling it's not going to go so well for Parker Industries, as probably it might plummet after this, because I think he needs to do that nanite delivery system first, but my opinion, I could be wrong. Original Sin issue number 2. Holy crap. I love a good mystery. I love a good murder mystery, and this book continues to be awesome. We still don't know who killed the Watcher. However, we find out in this issue who stole his eyes. And it turns out the person that stole his eyes isn't the same person that killed him. Now, or eye. One of the other eyes was taken by somebody else. What does the eye do? We don't know yet. The book opens up with the Avengers going after another one of the, what are they called?
They're like those little creatures.
I forgot what they're called. Sorry about that, guys. Apparently the other camera decided to die a little bit early. But anyway, the creature's name was the Mindless One. And Nick Fury and the Avengers are chasing after one who basically wants to run. That's all he wants to do, is run away from the memories. I gotta say, one of the things I love about this book so much, or the story, is just Nick Fury. Nick Fury is awesome. It's great to have Nick Fury back in the book. He's been gone for so long. His son took over S.H.I.E.L.D. and no offense, but it's still taking me time to warm up to him. You have Bruce Banner and Iron Man working together. You have this other team led by, we don't know who yet. You got the Punisher and
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange in the realm. I'm looking for where it is. Far Beyond the Realms of Man. And you got this Green Bullet, which is some type of a clue. You have Emma Frost and Black Panther in the center of the earth. Looking for clues. They find this monster graveyard, so to speak. A lot of radiation and whatnot there. So there's little clues that they're finding, and then you have the Avengers, who find out where the Mindless One came from finally. And they confront the people that have the Watcher's Eye. One being called the Exterminatrix, who I've never heard of her.
Neither have I.
And the other one being revealed later on. With this weird... It looks like Ben Grimm, but it's not the Thing. It's something... It's a being that looks like the Thing, but... doesn't look like the Thing anyway. Beside the point... They take out the Avengers, and Nick Fury and the X-Men, and basically everyone in the Tri-State area, as mentioned, take out the Exterminatrix and all of our mindless ones, leaving our masked foe to face the Avengers. On his own, along with this Ben Grimm copy, whoever he is. And basically, it turns out, spoiler alert, it's the Orb. The Orb basically has the Watcher's eye. Now, the Orb did not kill the Watcher, however, he did steal one of his eyes. What does the eye do? We don't know. Even speculation-wise, I have no clue what this eye is going to do, what it's going to reveal, what kind of ramifications it's going to have, what it's going to do in the next issue, but man, oh man, I'm at the edge of my seat waiting for issue 3 of Original Sin now. This is a really good book. I'm really enjoying it, and this is the first Marvel event where I'm already, we're in issue 2 and I'm not cringing yet. Yet. There's still, what?
Couple
4, 5,
issues.
6 more issues to go, because this is an 8-issue miniseries and we're on issue 2.
So yeah, 6 more.
So there's a lot of room to screw up. But I really enjoyed this book. I would definitely recommend it. This and Amazing Spider-Man are my top picks for this week from Marvel. And I don't know what's going on with the X-Men, but hopefully things will perk up. Maybe during Access. You know what? I'll drop X-Men for now, and then when Access happens, maybe things will get better.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's it for Marvel, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to leave comments below. Likes, dislikes, agree, disagree, recommendations. Love every single one, and your comments will be heard on this Friday's weekly comic book haul. Also, while you're at it, don't forget to check out Comic Related, Comic Frontline, and Zone4Podcast.com. Together, we are your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. And until the next review, everybody, take care, keep reading, keep collecting, and we will see you guys in the next review.
Later, everyone.